Hi, I am Miles. I'm going to be giving some box office predictions for some upcoming movies in 2023. The next movie coming out in 2023 is going to be Renfield, so I will start there. I don't see Renfield doing good, like, at all. It has an $85 million budget, and I don't think it's going to make any of it back. It has a pretty good cast with Nicholas Hoult and Nicolas Cage, and I guess the director, he's a cool guy, but, like, I don't see this doing good. Like, it might open 10 to 15 million domestically, but I bet it'll stop around 70 million worldwide. Like, I do not think that this is going to do that good. Up next, we have Evil Dead Rise, and I see this doing a lot better than Renfield. Smaller budget, but I feel like I've heard people been talking about it a lot more. I could see this having like a 20 million opening and ending around like 90 or 100 million. Definitely think it'll make all its money back and it'll do pretty good. After Evil Dead Rise, we now have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and this one's a little tricky. I see it doing pretty good. Like, I think I have some pretty high hopes for it. The first and second one did really good, and I believe it'll top the first one, but maybe not the second one. Like, it could get up to the 800 million range. Though after, like, what happened with Ant-Man, where the first and second one did good, and the third one just somehow flopped, I don't really know how. I hopefully that doesn't happen with the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, considering how good the first two movies were. So I do have high hopes, and I really hope that it does do good. Up next, we have Fast and Furious 10 coming in with a whopping $340 million budget. I was really surprised when I first saw that. That definitely is the highest budget of any of the Fast and Furious movies. Now, the ninth one, it did really good considering it was during COVID times. It made like over $700 million, which I was not expecting. And now that the 10th one, it's not really COVID times as much. I see it possibly making more than that, though it is hard to say. It's kind of all over the place. Like, it might have a 100 million debut. It might not. It might break a billion. It'd have to make a billion to like break even, sort of. I think it's definitely possible it could get that high, but I'm not really sure. I'd say it'll end off somewhere around 950 million or something like that. Now we have The Little Mermaid coming in next. This one is also pretty difficult. Now, all animated remakes that are like turned into live action tend to do really good for some reason. So I definitely see this breaking $1 billion, like a 150 debut, possibly 200, though I don't know. I'll definitely say it will get over $1 billion. It'll break even, considering it's a remake of a really popular movie, obviously. Now we have Kandahar, the next Gerard Butler action movie. Gerard Butler has been in a lot of action movies lately, and like they haven't really been doing that well. I guess like they haven't been making a ton of money. They've been decent enough, some of them at least. Some of them have been pretty bad. Though this one like looks interesting and looks cool, and I think it definitely has like a possibility of doing decently. I'm not sure what the budget is though. It might only make like 40 or 50 million. Plane made actually more than I was expecting it to, so the same thing could happen with Kandahar. Gerard Butler's a pretty popular actor, and people definitely like his movies, so it could do decently. Next up, we have Spider Man Across the Spider Verse, and I think that this is going to be a huge hit. The first one was loved by so many people, and it did really good. So I see this making like over $700 million. I think it has in it. I think it'll be like the highest grossing animated movie, or maybe second highest. I think Mario still might be doing higher, because Mario might end off with like a billion. And this one's probably just gonna get to like 700 million. It'll definitely make back its budget. It'll break even, and a lot of profit will come along with it. Now, due to the hype of it being a second one and the third one's already confirmed, I definitely think it's gonna do pretty. Now we have Transformers: Rise of Beasts. This one's also hard to say how like good it's really gonna do. Coming in, I think it's gonna have, I think it has a 200 to 250 million dollar budget, and so need to make around 700 million to really break even. And I definitely think that's possible. Transformer movies are coming off so many successful movies and a lot of hype that are loved by a lot of people. So I see this opening around 50 to 100, 75 maybe, and ending off around like could get up to 800, I could say. Now we have Strays. This movie looks so stupid and so funny at the same time. It's really like a 50-50 if it's going to do good or not. I don't know how high the budget is. Doesn't look like it's that high of a budget of a movie, maybe 50 million, so it could get up to 70 million. Like it could make maybe 80. I'm not sure. Like 15, 20 million debut. Might be similar to Renfield or something like that, though I don't think this is gonna make all of its money back. Next up, we got The Flash, and I'm just finding this out right now, but this has like a $300 million budget, which is around 100 million more than I was expecting. I don't see this like getting up to 800 million. I don't really see this breaking even. It might get up to 600, 500, 700 maybe, something around that range. It'll have like 100 million debut. Might end off domestically around 200. I don't know, superhero movies haven't been having that good of runs lately. So I could see this ending off around 5 to 600 million dollars. Now we have Elemental, and this one's also hard to say. Like, this might pull a Lightyear and just not do good at all. The budget's coming in around 180 according to this site, and I don't know if it's gonna break even. I don't know if it's gonna get up to like 600 million. It might end off around 400 million. I don't see it having the greatest opening either. Like, all movies I've been to, like, they just haven't played this trailer, even at like kids movies. Like, I don't know many people who even know about this movie, even though it's a Pixar movie. I guess it might have some opening hype, maybe. People find out about it then. Yeah, like 400 or 500 maybe. Now we have No Hard Feelings, which is like the next Jennifer Lawrence movie, but it's like a comedy. I haven't seen like any Jennifer Lawrence comedy movies really. Apparently this has a $65 million budget. When I first saw the trailer, it looked like it'd be like 30, maybe 40. I don't really know. I don't like, is this gonna do good? Probably not. Might end off around 70 million. Probably the same thing as like Renfield again. Open around 15 and maybe finish off domestically around like 40. Next up, we got Indiana Jones 5. And I actually see this movie doing like really well. I think this can make way over $1 billion. Like I see it making like 1.3 or 1.4. I'm also finding this out right now that there's like a $300 million budget. I don't know why budgets are just getting so much higher. Like, superhero movies used to just always be 200 million. I know Indiana Jones isn't a superhero movie, but it like fits into that theme. I thought it'd once again have like a $200 million budget, but it doesn't. Opening, I'd say it's possible it could have a 200 million opening. I don't know, ever since like Shrinking came out, I don't know why Shrinking, but like people have been talking way more about Harrison Ford. I don't know how Shrinking helped that at all. It wasn't even like that big of a show. But I think that'll definitely help. And he has a bunch of hype because he's like joining the MCU and he's I don't remember what character he's playing, but he's gonna be in the next couple movies, I think. So I definitely see this being one of the highest grossing movies of 2023. After Indiana Jones comes Harold and the Purple Crayon. I know like nothing about this movie. Like, I know Zachary Levi was in it, but I knew nothing else about it. I don't even know what it's about. I don't know, 60 million budget. Let me read this. A young boy named Harold embarks on a magical mission with the help of his purple. Oh my god. Yeah, this'll make like 60 or 70 million. I don't think it's gonna do that good. Now we got Insidious 5, and once again, I don't know what the heck this is. I think this is a horror movie. Yeah, like 10 million budget. Seems like a horror type, I think. Patrick Wilson's directing it. Is he a director? No, I don't know. But like, horror movies have just done really good lately, except Renfield. I don't think that's gonna do it. Does Renfield even count as a horror movie? I don't know. But like 10 million budget, apparently this will make 100 million. That's just what all horror movies have been doing lately. Like Megan had like a 10 million budget, made like 120 or something. That's just what all horror movies do. Like, if you want to make movies and you want to make a bunch of money, just only make horror movies and you'll be set for life. So, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning 1. Also $290 million budget. Like, I don't know why budgets are so high. I did know that, though. But still, it's crazy that it's high. The trailer looks like the budget is that high, though. Yeah, I don't know. $1 billion, maybe? I'm sure they'll break even. I'm sure it'll have like a 100, 150 debut. I think it'll make back all of its money, and then part 2 will probably do better if part 1 does good, maybe, I think. I'm sure this will do pretty good. So now we have Oppenheimer, and I definitely think Oppenheimer is going to be the highest grossing movie of 2023 that's not a sequel. I'm pretty sure that, like, it's a Christopher Nolan movie, and it stars, like, all these big actors, 100 million budget. I see this making over 700 million. I do. Like, I think this is going to do great. This is, like, I believe this is Christopher Nolan's first movie, not at Warner Brothers. It's with Universal, I believe, but I still think this is going to do really good. Like, I see 700 million in it for sure. Now we have Barbie, and I gotta say, this is the most difficult one in this entire list to predict. I see this doing really good. Like, 100 million budget, I somehow see this breaking $1 billion. Like, I don't know how I do. Like I could actually beat Oppenheimer and be the like most successful non-sequel. Yo, yet again, I still see this failing. I see this making under its budget. Like I see this making 50 million, yet I also see it making like 1 billion. Like I don't like is this supposed to be a kids movie? I don't even really get it. Like I think so. Like it's rated PG, I guess so. It looks kind of dumb, I guess. I mean, there's some good actors in it though. But yeah, once like I okay, I'll say my prediction. I say it'll make 400 million. Though I see it making like 1 billion, I do. But I think it'll make around like no, it's not gonna make 400 million. It's making less than. Oh, but it might make more than that. I don't know. Okay, I'll just say 300 million. So next up we got Disney's first horror movie, Haunted Mansion. I don't think this is actually a horror movie. This is like a kid's horror movie, so that doesn't really count. But I still don't like. I knew a bit about it. Like Owen Wilson. Does Owen Wilson star in? I don't know. I don't know if he stars or if he's like a supporting role. I haven't seen the trailer for this. I've heard a bit about it. Apparently, this has $150 million budget. I didn't know that till now. I thought it was way under that, from a couple like screenshots I've seen. I don't. I like. Yeah, I think this will make 100 million maybe. I don't see it making back its budget. Now we got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem. 90 million budget. I see this making 300 million easily. I see this being pretty successful. I've seen some people talk about it. I've seen the trailer a few times. I think it looks good. There's like a ton of actors in this, like a ton of big actors. So I definitely think this will make like around 300, 400 million. So this video has got a little bit longer than I thought it was. I thought I could do all of this in like under 10 minutes, but I've only done like half of it, and I'm like over 10 minutes on the video. So if you guys want to see part 2, just let me know. I'll probably make it anyways. But thank you for watching. Yeah, hope you enjoyed.